All right, so being that it is June 4th at 7 o'clock, I'm going to call council to order, and I'm going to ask Councillor Hanson to read this reconciliation.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge our meeting place, City of Flin Flon Council Chambers is situated on the ancestral lands, and we would like to acknowledge it. He also worked in partnership with the First Nations of Treaty 6 and 10 territory to hand them achievement.
Thank you very much. Now, what we'll have is a reading and confirming of minutes with Councillor Slip.
Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held May 21st, 2024 be adopted as read.
Seconder, Councillor Hanson, all in favor? And that's just done. So we have, and we will go directly to Councillor Dallas Funk for resolution.
Thanks. I have 4 tonight, Mayor. First one, check schedule 23-02. Be it resolved that the accounts in the amount of $546,395.46 be approved for payment.
Seconder, Councillor Eagle, all in favor? And that was pretty easily done.
Second, bylaw 2024-07, mill rate, final reading. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-07, being a bylaw governing estimates and to set the mill rate for 2024 for general purposes, school purposes, and uncontrollable purposes, be done and finally passed.
Thank you, Seconder, Councillor Slip, all in favor? Right is done and finally passed.
It's bylaw 2024-08, business tax assessment, final reading. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-08, being a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon to provide for the making of a business assessment and the levying of a business tax in conformity with the Municipal Act, Section 306, be done and finally passed.
Seconder, Councillor Hanson, and all in favor? It's passed as well and finally.
Lastly, bylaw 2024-09, fee in lieu of business tax, final reading again. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-09, being a bylaw to provide for the levying and collection of fee in lieu of business tax for the year 2024 as required by Section 7 of bylaw number 2024-08, be done and finally passed.
Seconder, Councillor Eagle, and all in favor? And that is passed as well. We move on to Councillor Eagle.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Fontaine. I have 3 bylaws to read this evening. The first one is the bylaw 2024-10, Equipment Reserve Fund, and this is final reading. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-10, being a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon to provide for raising monies by a special tax to augment the Equipment Replacement Reserve Fund created by bylaw number 2376, be done and finally passed.
Seconder, Councillor Slip, all in favor? And there we go.
And the next one is bylaw number 2024-11. This is the General Reserve Fund. And it is also final reading. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-11, being a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon to provide for raising monies by a special tax to augment the General Reserve Fund created by bylaw number 27/88, be done and finally passed.
Seconder, Councillor Hanson, all in favor? Done.
And my last one is also bylaw, a final reading. Bylaw 2024-11, and this is to adopt a financial plan and capital estimates. Be it resolved that the financial plan of the City of Flin Flon for the year 2024 be adopted as required by Section 162 of the Municipal Act, and further be it resolved that the capital estimates detailed and set out on pages 13 and 14 of the 2024 financial plan be adopted.
Seconder, Councillor Dallas Funk, all in favor? And that is passed. And we have you for one more.
I do have one more, so that's 4, not 3. This is the auditor's statement for 2023. This is resolution 23-9. Be it resolved that the auditor's statement for 2023 be received and filed.
Seconder, Counselor Hanson, all in favor?
And that concludes mine.
Okay, now, Counselor Litwin, you have a resolution for AMF.
Yes, sir. I have 3 resolutions, Your Worship. First up is the City of Flin Flon resolution for AMM 23-10. Whereas the residents living in unorganized territories or within the boundaries of provincial parks that are adjoined to or by municipal boundaries are utilizing municipal facilities and services, and whereas these services are costly to the taxpayers of the municipality, and whereas increased development of year-round homes within the unorganized territories and within the boundaries of the provincial parks may negatively impact the tax base of the adjoining municipalities, thus increasing the per capita cost of municipal services. And whereas there exist residents living in the unorganized territories or provincial parks who through their respective cottage associations have chosen not to support fee-for-service 911 service and or municipal fire departments, and whereas those unorganized territories and or parks are not represented by municipal government, there is often no authorized legal representative of these areas to deal with when it comes to addressing issues such as access to municipal services and corresponding contributions. And whereas the province has the legal authority to negotiate on behalf of and collect monies from residents of unorganized territories and or parks. And whereas the province of Manitoba frequently plays a passive role in resolving issues that arise relative to the provision of municipal services to residents of unorganized territories and or provincial parks, rather than exercise any of its powers to act in its representative capacity. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the province be requested to engage in a meaningful way to resolve issues relative to the provision of services by municipalities to residents of surrounding unorganized areas and or provincial parks, and that it shall act in a representative capacity in order to facilitate such discussions and their resolution, which may include a supportive fee to be implemented by the province and shared with municipalities.
To that, we need a second. Counselor Eagle? That you've all heard it. All in favor? That is passed.
Okay, next up is the Willowvale Curling Club subdivision proposal. This is resolution 23-11. Be it resolved that the proposed subdivision block 94, plan 6430, PT of NW 1/4 of 8-67-29 WPM be approved.
Seconder, Counselor Slip. All in favor? Okay.
And finally, North Main subdivision proposal. That's 23-12. Be it resolved that the proposed subdivision PT, LTS 5 and 6, LTS 9 to 12, and LTS 15 and 16 for Plan 622, the end division of PT of SW 1/4 of 6-67-29 WPM be approved.
Second, Counselor Hanson. All in favor? Done. And the next one goes to you, Counselor Hanson.
Okay, this is the endorsed Rural Traffic Solution Plan, 43-15. Here resolved that the City of Flin Flon authorizes or endorses the Rural Traffic Solution Fund for the installation of supporting infrastructure to improve the fixed route public transit service project in Flin.
Seconder, Counselor Slip. All in favor? Who's passed? And Counselor Hanson again, please.
This is the 2024 Manitoba Wildlife Service CCAM lease agreement, FIC 23-14. Be it resolved that the agreement between the City of Flin Flon and Manitoba Wildfire Services for CCAM will be ratified and approved for signature by the proper officers of the city.
Seconder, Counselor Litwin. All in favor?
The next one is the province of Saskatchewan agreement, the tanker-based lease. Be it resolved that the agreement between the City of Flin Flon and His Majesty the King and right of the province of Saskatchewan as represented by the Minister of Central Services for tanker-based lease be ratified and approved for signature by the proper officers of the City of Flin Flon.
Seconder, Counselor Slip. All in favor? And Counselor Slip, one.
Flin Flon Pride donation 23-16, be it resolved that the city of Flin Flon will make a donation to Flin Flon Pride events at a total cost of $250.
Seconder, Councillor Dallas Funk. All in favor?
Wait.
And that's done.
The Friendship Center National Indigenous Peoples Day donation, 23-17. Be it resolved that the city of Flin Flon will make a donation to the Friendship Center towards National Indigenous Peoples Day at a total cost of $250.
It's seconded by Councillor Eagle. All in favor? And with that, unless there's somebody who wants to make a statement, I will move for adjournment.
I'll make some more jabbits.
Okay? So, we do now adjourn, and I will open to, yes, I will open to,
For the press, like,
So Steve, that big thing you read there, in a nutshell, what is that? I mean, I just had a hard time following that.
So I'll try to explain it, then maybe better. So essentially, we're making a resolution on behalf.
Thank you so much.
To move the AMM, which is the municipal group in Toba. So we're making this motion to essentially on June 24th, we have the Northern AMM meeting is going to actually be held here in Flin Flon.
AMM, you said?
Association of Actual Municipal.
Yeah. So the Northern group is meeting here, and we're going to discuss this and hopefully put this resolution on the floor. And then in the fall, at the AMM conference or convention, APGM in Winnipeg, for our hope is that this is going to be supported by AMM, and then it would be voted on by all members of all municipal members of Mathil at that time.
Okay, when's it in Winnipeg? Sorry?
November. I just 20 other years on the second.
What's the big thing you're proposing? What is it?
Well, essentially that the unorganized territories, the names and provincial marks can pay service fees to the provincial government, which then can redistribute back to municipalities that are covering those costs. That makes sense. You know, I believe you'd never cover all the costs, but it'll just be partial. Is that right, Lynn?
Can illustrate it when in start of your yeah.
So you're just looking at, how would you word that again, Lynn? Sorry?
It's a request to the government to have a meaningful conversation with unorganized territories. So we're asking the government to kind of come in and resolve some issues with the unorganized territories.
And really, this resolution is just approving that we go to DMM, which is a very, very, very powerful lobby group from the municipalities to the provincial governments, and they'll take us from there.
Yeah.
Let's have the conversation with it goes.
And the Association of Natural Municipality AGM is November 25th to 27th. In Winnipeg, and it does involve every municipality in the entire province.
So the resolution we put on the floor and voted.
But first, you have to have it approved at the Northern meeting, which you have at the end of June, and then if it is, that it'll be in a notice of motion for the fall, like November, and then what would likely happen, if it is approved at the Northern, then I'm assuming the Northern mayors would have a chance or their designate to speak on it at AMM, and then all AMM members have the right to vote in favor or.
Okay. Another quick question. This Willowvale Curling Club subdivision proposal, is that still basically in getting it from transfer from Parks and Rec to the city? Is that still what that is?
That is exactly that.
And that still hasn't, that's just finally gone through now?
You're going to see this.
Okay.
I did notice some orange stakes there the last time when I was there. There was a couple orange stakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's related to
But then, yeah. So
Basically, the school
the stakes are.
Yeah, I did see a couple orange poles there too.
is a high reading of everything.
Okay.
About for the last 3 council meetings.
Okay. And just a couple other quick things. This resolution for the city of Flin Flon for this rural transit solution, that's rebuilding bus shelters and sidewalks, right? Is that what that is?
and a new bus, a new accessible.
And you're getting a new bus too.
$2.2 million of it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
$2.2 million grant, and it's a 20-80 split. So the government's paying 80 and we're paying 20%, which is almost unheard of. Usually you're at a 60-40.
Which is the same project you announced back in February, March?
Yes, yeah. We finally gotten the person assigned to us from the federal government, and we should be getting the actual agreement in writing, so now we'll be able to sign it as well.
Okay, so you said 80% from the government and 20% from the city? Okay. And when do you think you're going to see this all happen? Like, when's this all going to start going?
The deadline for us to have all of this work completed and the reporting done is March 31st, 2026.
March 31st, sorry?
Yes, March 31st, 2026. But it's likely what will happen is we could probably see a new bus purchase, as well as the plan being outlined for the sidewalks and the bus shelters. And some of that work will be done in 2025 because we'll run out of season.
How many shelters are you looking to put up a shelter at every stop?
That was part of the original plan, but that would be a really good question for Gary because he's been working on that plan as well and making sure that it's what we need.
Okay. That's good for me. Thank you.
Okay. Question about the AMM recommendation or the resolution here. My read on this is essentially allowing the city of Flin Flon and other municipalities to find a way to end up collecting tax revenue from cabin owners. Am I reading this correctly?
What will that cost?
It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that very, very clearly when we all dealt in this huge hole with the wildfire situation. So it has much more to do with being together and recognizing that we are together. And if the provincial government will get involved, and he thinks that they probably will, this isn't the only time in this whole province that municipalities close to each other, but with unorganized territories in them, this is not new. But for us, this is a request for meaningful dialogue. We think
It is time. The reason behind this for the provincial government, some provincial governments, to take responsibility for the lack of action they've had all along in allowing this kind of a situation to occur in the first place, which has negatively affected several municipalities, not just uppers. We're not the lowest driving on it. And to open the dialogue so they understand clearly what the problems are and they search some way to a resolution. And we can't tell them what to do. We can certainly suggest to them that we have a problem with the way it's set up now, and they're the ones who are in jurisdiction, so we'd like them to study it. We'd like them to discuss it with us. We'd like them to discuss it with unorganized territories. We'd like them to discuss it with park residents and then come up with some kind of a reasonable solution to the issue, because it's not just local, it's all over the province.
Cameron,
That
I'm thinking it's to be illegal for somebody to live in the park to your house. It probably still is following a law that they govern such a house most of us. We couldn't stay around in Taurus. They like to tell us we're interested. So that's why they encourage some of the homes. But you're not inspired from the kind of thing. That's never really that work.
So, out of curiosity, cabin owners right now, what local services are they using here? They don't use fire services usually. They have their own pumps to deal with that. I don't think
It just uses a lot of fire services.
Okay.
Fire people in there, the equipment.
Okay, well, I mean, so subdivisions have their own water pumps, and
no, we're speaking just about the
I just like to handle
just right.
no, I'm trying to think of what municipal services they.
there are a lot. If you take premise to generally maintaining this town, the people who live out there, a lot of them have worked their whole careers in the town, then travel back to the outskirts. So they're not residents, but they're using the facilities. Secondly, any recreational facility that's here, a user fee doesn't come anywhere near pay what it costs for somebody to use recreational facilities, and not here, not anywhere. So here people are paying. I'll use the Whitney Forum as an example. Well over $850,000 a year. Am I off too far on that? Like, thanks. That's correct. Okay, well over $850,000 a year to operate that. And it is being used by residents all around, not just the taxpayers of Flin Flon, and it is being subsidized to that amount. Everybody might pay to go to a hockey game, but if I pay my seniors rate, pay $16 or $18 or $20 or whatever it is to go to a hockey game, I'll pay the second thing as a merchant for Creighton, from Danair Beach, from outlying areas, the same thing to get on the game. However, my course for that at $850,000 has been paid towards that building prior to me ever going in, yet they walked in without paying any of that. And that's what it's costing you run that building. Has one. Then we're going to have the community all that does the same, and we're going to have
at about $500,000, and we're going to have the pool, which will probably run 350 quarters. No mistake, those lines favorite. If nothing else, recreation is enough to warrant this conversation, but it's not the only thing. Okay? So, we could go on, head on, that nothing.
Okay, I'm sure I'll have more questions about that in the future, but in the meantime, want to know if council has heard anything new from the Public Utilities Board. I know there was supposed to be a meeting about the water rate, but that got moved due to the fire. Has there been any new information?
Yeah, I just talked to about the Utilities Board administrative personnel a couple of days ago, and they're going to now re-engage with the board themselves to determine what time frame would work to have another meeting.
Okay.
And we'll put the notices out the same as last time, so it was some notice and time to
Okay. Okay. So no firm date on that yet, but a firm date will come.
coming.
Okay. Also wanted to know a little bit about the subdivisions that was mentioned here, and Rob asked a little bit about the subdivision proposal for the Willowvale Curling Club area. I'm intrigued on this North Main subdivision proposal. There isn't any sort of, from my quick skim through the package, any sort of explanation or map or anything like that for this. So what are we looking at for that?
North Main is the one building, and I'm probably looking the wrong direction, but it's the one building used to say paws and claws on the end there, the really tall, skinny building that was knocked down. And so that in the past has been changed from industrial to commercial.
Okay.
And so this is just kind of tying up that resolution the same.
Okay. So then what sort of, if this goes, what sort of zoning are we looking at for that immediate area?
Well, moving from industrial to commercial just expands the capacity for the different types of businesses to be there.
Okay. Is that specifically for the former Paws and Claws building, or is it for the areas to the, I suppose it would be the east of it, between there and the Reminder building, like where the old paper building used to be?
The way this reads, I think there's more than one piece here, so I'm assuming that it's that, or these sides, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they talking about already where the station up there, found about this will talk to it towards right there. Going over to Friendship Center parking lot, and one going over here.
Something like that, but the Friendship Center is not at any point where they can sink a shovel in the ground on that yet. So, but if there is going to be a shelter, Todd brings up a good point. If there was going to be a shelter, and I know the Friendship Center is looking at that, what sort of zoning would we be looking at for that? Would it be commercial? Would it be multifamily? Okay.
It'd be commercial.
Commercial, okay. So in essence then, is this rezoning then kind of setting the table for that?
It's also setting the table for many other things. It's a much broader than a category than industrial. And so commercial allows for something that fits more within the area as well. Whether the shelters can be possibility, but it's not on the table right now.
Okay. So I would assume by that the Friendship Center and the city haven't had any sort of recent discussion about
Friendship
that?
Center has been focusing on the transitional housing.
Okay.
And so there could still be conversations in the near future or in the later future. Somewhat. I just know they're focusing on transitional housing.
Smart question.
Yeah.
Okay. I also know that Flin Flon Pride is holding their flag raising event at City Hall on Friday. Normally that's accompanied by a proclamation from City Council to like confirm the event or to like set aside a day as Pride Day or something like that. But I haven't seen any in this agenda or any of the other meetings. Is everything still clear for that? Is everything still set up for it? To take place?
Yeah, there was a little bit shorter notice this year than normal, but we're working with them to make sure that everything is ready to go and we can do many of the same things as we always have.
Okay. Also wanted to know about the CCAN and tanker base lease, since these are kind of, I mean, with different parties, obviously, but sort of similar measures. I'll ask about them both. Is this, are these new measures or are these simply renewals of what's already on the books, like every other airport lease every year coming up?
These are renewals.
Okay. And the tanker lease, or the tanker base lease is for 2024 till 2033?
This is Saskatchewan again.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Any changes on that from previous policy?
right. What is it?
Okay.
And thank God they have that CCAN over here. Oh, stop.
That was basically to be used as equipment storage, right? Or do I have that wrong?
We lost our
Okay. Okay. That's it for me.
Any good stuff, and look to a sub people at their best. Thank you very much, folks.